So the first thing we need to do is find and open the Numbers app, and that looks like this. We're going to be opening this app with this visual here, and then once we're open, we want to make a new spreadsheet, create spreadsheet, and you can either do that with this create spreadsheet option, or you can create it by clicking the plus add symbol at the top. And then we want to make a new blank spreadsheet. So Numbers is about using a spreadsheet or a workbook, and you can do all sorts of things with it, but today we're going to mess around with formatting the cells. All of these little boxes are called cells, and we're going to have a go at changing these cells and using those different cells to create an image by changing the colour of the cells. For this to work, we've got to do a couple of things to get us started. First thing we need to do is to make all of these are called columns, we need to make all of these the same size, because we want to end up with a grid of squares. So the way we're going to do that is quite simply, in the top left hand corner there is a little circle and a blue dot. Top left hand corner, a little circle with a blue dot. And then you can see down the bottom corner, we can then, on the right hand side, we can move in or out by clicking on the little blue dot, in or out, change the width of the squares. So I'm going to move them so that they're all the same size. And then I'm going to add a few more. So I'm going to click on the little double button on the side. So we're across the top, you've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, little double line. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to keep going until I've got roughly the same number of columns across the top as I've got rows down the side. I'm happy with that. You can see now I've got a grid. It looks, it's about 20 across and 20 down. You with me? Great. Now that we've created our grid, our blank canvas, we can start adding the colours. And this is about formatting the cells of a Numbers worksheet. Again, the first thing we want to do is change all of them to a background colour. And I can do that. I can see how I move around. That helps me choose different cells. And if you look across the top, it tells you the letter of the cell. So this is N, and across the side it's 5. So this is cell N5. This is good for coordinates. This is cell F11. This is cell R17. Just good to know. I want to change all of them. So again, top left, little circle with a blue circle inside it, and click on that, and you can see there's little blue dots around the edge. That means that all of them are currently ready for me to do something. I'm going to click on my paintbrush, and it lets me do all sorts of things. But if I look across the top, I've got table, cell, format, arrange. I want to be on cell, and down the bottom I want to cell fill, and I want to change the color. So I'm going to create a nighttime image, so I want all of them to be a dark blue. See that? I could have all of them yellow, I could have all of them whatever color I want, but I want them all to be a dark blue. When I'm happy with that color, click anywhere, and I'm ready to go. Now that I've got my one color canvas, I can start to add the detail of my image. And again, I'm going to do that by formatting the color of individual cells. I'm going to start by changing, I'm going to add some snowdrops. So I'm going to just randomly start choosing some cells. I want that one, D5, coordinates D5, paintbrush, and now I'm going to change, it says cell fill, I want that to be white. And I'm going to add a few different, going to repeat that. So choose a cell, M3, paintbrush, cell fill, white. Choose a different one. What's this? R7, paintbrush, self-fill, white. And I'm going to keep doing that until I'm happy that I've got enough snowflakes in there for my background. So I've now added some snowdrops randomly on my backdrop. I'm happy with those, and now I want to add my snow at the bottom of the picture. I'm going to add the main shape of my snowman, and this involves selecting multiple cells, multiple squares all at the same time. So I'm going to add the snow at the bottom of my picture. The way I do that is down the bottom. You can see how I've got cell A22. Well, now I want all of the 22s. And I do that by clicking on the number 22. And now I've got a blue box going around it. That means I can do something with all of those boxes. So now I'm going to click on the paintbrush, self-fill, white. It's changed all of them to white. So that was by clicking on the number 22. That's worked. Now I want to add my snowman. And I'm going to do that by choosing where I want the start of my snowman to be. I'm going to go for here. And then I'm going to use the little circle and drag to fill and select all the squares, all the cells that I want to change. Now, this isn't a perfect snowman shape, but it works for what I'm trying to do today. So I've selected all of those, paintbrush, self-fill, white. Now I've got a white snowman on my background. Now I'm going to add a hat for my snowman. I'm going to do that. I'm going to choose, this is I13, drag along. So I've got a hat sitting on top of my snowman, and I want to change the colour, so paintbrush. What colour shall I give him? Let's give him a nice purple hat. And I want to add a little bit more of the hat. Those two cells, paintbrush, colour, purple hat. You can start to see that we're adding and creating an image by formatting the cells. Okay, let's keep going. We're going to add a few more details now so that the snowman looks a little bit more like a snowman. We're going to add a scarf. So I'm choosing this little row of cells. So row 17, cells I, J, K and L. And I'm going to change the colour, cell fill. I'm going to go for one of these preset ones. I quite like that. And then I'm going to add the tail of the scarf, changing these two cells. And I'm going to go for that same preset colour. And now I've got a snowman with a hat and a scarf. But we need some extra features, and this is where we're going to add some images from the gallery. The way we do that, across the top we've got a shapes option, and we can choose to add some different images, icons from the gallery. I'm going to use the search option. I'm going to add, if I type in moustache, M-O-U, I'm going to add a moustache to my snowman, change the size, add that on. I want to add one more detail because all snowmen need some arms. So I want to add arms using an image. This is going to be a little bit more complicated. So let's see how you get on. But we start by looking for an image again from the gallery. And I want to look for a stick. Oh, there you go. There's a stick. Let's select it. You can see how it's just appeared on the middle. I'm just going to bring it over and out of the way so I can start messing around with it here. Now, there's two things that are wrong with that stick. I don't want it to be a black stick. I want it to be brown. So the first thing I'm going to do, format with the paintbrush, fill, change my colour, and let's make it into a brown stick. Okay, good. I'm happy with that. Also, he needs two. So let's get two of those. So I'm now going to do, see where I clicked on it, and here's the menu. I want to copy, click anywhere, paste. I've now got 2 arms ready. But you can see these, I can't turn them. They don't turn around on their own. I can't spin them. And I can't just put the arms there, that would look silly. So I need to change the direction. This gets a bit more advanced, but again, anything we want to do, we can do by clicking on an object and using the format, the paintbrush. So I'm going to click on the paintbrush. Now I don't want style. See at the top, style, I don't want that. I don't want text. I want arrange. And now at arrange, I've got this thing called rotate. Rotate means to turn. If I click on rotate, I can decide which direction I want the stick pointing. So for the one that I've got highlighted, I want it pointing that way, 315 degrees. I want it pointing that way. For the other one, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go click on it, paintbrush, rotate, and I want it pointing the other way, 45 degrees. So now I've got 2 sticks, they're both pointing in different ways. I now want to go and put those on Mr. Snowman. Now that looks a bit too big, so I'm going to use the shrink tool, and I'm just going to move that, adjust the size, and then I've got a stick that I can put in as an arm for Mr. Snowman, and then let's do the other one as well and put that in there. Okay, done. So there you go. We've used Numbers as an app. We've learned how we can change the width of columns. We've learned how we can format the different cells, the squares, to be whatever colour we want them to be. And that's useful when using Numbers app, when we start to use it for more advanced purposes. We've created an image. It's a bit of fun. I wonder what you could create. What images could you create that are seasonal, that are winter related? I've gone for a snowman, but I wonder what you could create, thinking about using the individual squares, changing the colour, looking at formatting, and use the paintbrush to select individual squares, and potentially adding different images as well. Have fun.